Welcome to a special Forbidden Door preview episode where we break down this week's Dynamite and the upcoming AEW, NJPW, CMLL Super Show Forbidden Door, along with the debut of Suplex and Sauce. So we start off Dynamite. This is the Go Home Dynamite, and it starts with the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, on commentary this week.
What does Go Home Dynamite mean?
That means it's the last show before a pay-per-view.
Okay.
So this week, for each of the AEW shows, Danielson will be on commentary.
Yeah.
Because Taz just had double knee surgery not too long ago, so he's unable to fly that long.
Wow.
So we start off with Mox and Ospreay face-to-face. The crowd in Glasgow is hot tonight. Ospreay said it's been one of the toughest months of his life. Ospreay says he's not cleared, but he's taken it into his own hands. If you recall, he's got some neck issues, and we just heard today that as soon as this pay-per-view's over, he's going to be having neck surgery.
That's crazy.
Yep. So
is he allowed to just take it into his own hands? Like, can't they be like, absolutely not?
Sure, the doctor could, but it is a lights-out, non-sanctioned match. The second pay-per-view lights-out match. The first one, if you recall, we were there for.
Baltimore? That was a fun show.
The first ever Full Gear show. It was Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega in a lights out, no holds barred match.
It was really good.
So Ospreay says he's doing this because he wants revenge and he wants to tear the Death Riders apart. Mox makes his way to the ring and ignores Danielson. Danielson was staring him down and Mox didn't give him the time of day. He's completely fixated on Ospreay. The Death Riders circle Ospreay, and Ospreay says, if you want to get rid of me, you got to do it yourself. And then all of a sudden, we get jet speed and a very slow-moving Hiroshi Tanahashi slowly making that big entrance. And they come out to battle, which leads us into our first match, a six-man, Jet Speed and Tanahashi versus the Death Riders, Claudio, Wheeler, and Mox. Every movement by Tanahashi looks painful, and it's definitely time to hang it up for the ace.
I mean, it's been looking painful for a while, if we were going to be honest.
His knees are shot. I feel like the last good Tanahashi match was Omega's last match in New Japan when he lost the title at that Wrestle Kingdom.
I feel like he's been looking rough since way before then, but that's just me.
So we have Wheeler Yuta with an angle slam for 2. Marina kicks Kevin Knight and gets thrown out, and she's not going on her own accord. So Will Ospreay comes and carries her out of the building. Claudio with a big swing on Bayley that Knight breaks up. Nice moonsault by Bayley on the Mox. Tanahashi hits a sling blade on Wheeler. And then more run-ins. We get the Bullet Club War Dogs. So we get Gabe Kidd, Cal Newman, and all those guys from New Japan. They make their way to the ring, and they stop the high fly flow from Kevin Knight. Ospreay comes out with a body bag to distract, and it is made to believe that it's Marina Shafir in the body bag.
Yeah.
It's actually Darby Allin, which will be a surprise here in just a moment. This allows Tanahashi to hit the high fly flow and the win, and then Tanahashi gets jumped real quick by the War Dogs and by Wheeler and Claudio.
Mm-hmm.
Ospreay's still on the ramp with the body bag. He gets super kicked by the Young Bucks, who surprisingly get taken out by Roddy and Kyle O'Reilly, who aren't even...
Buddies?
No, not really. They were friends with Adam Cole.
Gotcha.
Adam Cole was friends.
Association. Yeah.
They were never cool with the Young Bucks, but Adam Cole was.
Okay.
And that sets up their match on Collision tomorrow night, Young Bucks versus Roddy and O'Reilly.
Okay.
So they go over to the body bag, and who comes out? Darby Allin.
The Evil Dead guy.
Then the Ops, Hobbs, Shibata, and Samoa Joe make their way down. They take care of the War Dogs. Darby does a coffin drop to everybody from the second floor mezzanine. Everyone from the cage match were involved, except for 2. No Golden Lovers at all during that.
Maybe they were busy doing golden lovery things.
We haven't seen Kenny Omega since All Out Texas.
It's been a while. I mean, he's not a young spring chicken anymore. He's probably resting.
But Tanahashi can be here?
It's his farewell tour. He has to.
No. Omega and Ibushi should be there. This is the show before a big pay-per-view. If you're in this match, you should be at the show.
Okay.
I don't agree with it. I think they should have been there. So then we get a video package hyping the MJF versus Hangman match. Next we have Cope. He is out next with Tony Schiavone. He looks for the pyro. No pyro for Cope. Great shot of a packed arena there in Scotland. The crowd sings Cope's song as it ends, and before he can talk, here comes Christian Cage.
Yes.
Christian tells everyone to sit down and shut up. Cope says these guys love us, but he is what he is, and he's an asshole. But he's Cope's asshole. Cage says he went away and discovered he doesn't need to change. He's perfect the way he is. And him and Cope aren't on the same page, but they're definitely writing in the same book. And this isn't a happy story. This is out of necessity. They'll help each other with their problems. Christian has a problem with Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. Cope has a problem with FTR. So out comes Mother Wayne, and she says Christian is pathetic. Mother Wayne is totally booed out of the building. Now we see Mother Wayne and Kip, but no Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne appears on the screen and says he has a broken foot from that last jump by Cope and Christian.
Yeah.
So he's out for Forbidden Door, but he's always one step ahead of Christian, and we see the returning Kill Switch, also known as Luchasaurus. He chokeslams Cope, and I think a returning Jack Perry would have been great too to tie in with Christian as well. Way more exciting to see Jack Perry and Kill Switch than Kip Sabian and Kill Switch.
Yeah.
So we see Mark Briscoe, and he keeps it short and sweet. He says he's going to kill MJF.
I did see.
We get Ricochet and Gates of Agony, who get interrupted by MJF, who wants Gates of Agony and Ricochet to help him with a Mark Briscoe problem. And they agree, so they're on the hunt for Mark Briscoe. We then get the best match of the night, the finals of the tag team #1 contender tournament. It's Brodito, Bandito, and Brody King versus FTR. FTR and Stoke come out with the mask of Bandito. Brody's look with the mask and jacket is going to be really cool as an action figure like we were talking about that night. It was a nice slow start to the match. One thing I love about AEW is they do give important matches time with their TV, unlike WWE.
I really hate you.
FTR starts throwing chairs into the ring, which makes absolutely no sense. Why would they want to get disqualified in this type of match? Instead, I would have taken those chairs, smashed them against the post, against the steps.
Yeah.
Something to show their frustration. Dax hits a pile driver, and then we get an assisted splash by Bandito for 2. Stoke hits Brody with his loaded sling, which was filled with a steel pipe, and Brody is busted wide open.
It was a total bloodbath.
Bandito gets the hot tag and starts taking out both FTR. Bandito goes for the tope and gets caught by FTR and slammed into the apron. We get a demolition elbow for 2 on Bandito. Brody with the Crimson Mask is taking on both FTR members. Bandito with a tope and Brody with a crossbody into Cash on the guardrail. Bandito gets his mask back and hits the frog splash for 2. A beautiful tornado DDT off the post by Cash. That was something to see him climb up the post. FTR hits a back suplex power and glory for 2. Cash jumped halfway across the ring for it. It was great athleticism again by Cash.
And I feel like they're not small guys.
No,
like, for them to go like that is crazy.
That's why they're one of the best tag teams in wrestling. We're at the 25-minute mark with 5 minutes remaining, and it was nice that AEW gave that time shout out. Something that New Japan does frequently. So I'm hoping they continue that to make the importance of the match really stand out.
Yeah.
Bandito with multiple roll-ups for 2. Brody stops a shatter machine and fights Dax on the apron. FTR hit a spike pile driver to Brody on the apron that took him out. And we get a shatter machine for 2, and Brody makes the save. We got 1 minute remaining, and FTR decides to pull out a table. 30 seconds left, and Cash goes head first through that table with a suicide dive.
Jeez.
The bell rings as the time limit expires, and it's announced it will be a 3-way for the tag titles, and out come the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, who look absolutely amazing for guys approaching or 50.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah, so great match there. Definitely check out that match if you haven't seen it. We get a video package for Okada versus Swerve, which should be an absolutely amazing match.
Great, it's going to be awesome.
I want to see Prince Nana and Don Callis go at it on the outside. Next, we get Hangman Page, who comes out. Page says at Forbidden Door, there's only one thing that'll happen, and that's Page shoving his size 12 ostrich leathers up his ass. MJF's music hits, but we don't see him. But we have a message for Hangman. And Tony tells Hangman if he leaves before he's done, something bad will happen. So we see Gates of Agony, Ricochet, and MJF. They have Mark Briscoe tied up, and he is out cold. And MJF has 3 demands, or he will light Mark Briscoe on fire. So essentially, we're kidnapping and attempted murder here. And those 3 requests are: the title match can change hands by countout or disqualification. MJF doesn't have to cash in. And Hangman agrees.
Yeah.
So MJF congratulates him for still being a hero. And Hangman rushes to the back. He attacks Ricochet with a chair, looking for MJF. Great visual by Ricochet, looking absolutely terrified when Hangman has him up against the wall. Then we get our main event of the evening. Mercedes Moné and Athena versus Toni Storm and Alex Windsor. Tony gets the biggest reaction of the night. Tony says Mercedes is absolutely delicious after she licks her and does a fat bastard get in my belly. Nice wrestling from Athena, who's getting the better of Toni Storm tonight. We get a Blue Thunder Bomb by Alex Windsor for 2. Athena pile driver to Toni Storm on the steps, and that looked absolutely brutal. She was down and hurt for the rest of the match and selling that neck injury. Windsor gets Mercedes in the sharpshooter, and she taps. But Mercedes isn't the legal person, and as Windsor drops the sharpshooter, she gets caught with the O-face and a 3. And we get Athena and Mercedes for the win. And Toni Storm is in trouble with that neck injury.
Yeah.
Very exciting Dynamite. It was a lot squeezed into 2 hours.
Yeah, that was very action-packed. What a great show for the show before Forbidden Door.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Forbidden Door. So we have our first tag team match. It is Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus Kip Sabian and Killswitch Luchasaurus. Thoughts on this match?
You know, I'm not really a fan of the Waynes, but I do love Luchasaurus. So it's kind of hard to say. I also like Adam Copeland a lot.
Yeah, I don't see any way Copeland and Christian are going to lose this match.
Yeah.
I could definitely see Jungle Boy making a return here.
That'd be fantastic.
To set something else up down the line. But I think you're going to see Copeland and Christian win and set up a match with FTR in Toronto in September.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. So if Jungle Boy did come back, he'd be going with the matriarchy?
Not necessarily.
I mean, he did go out as a heel, right?
Yeah, I don't think he'd be with the matriarchy. I could just see him just going after Christian Cage. The enemy of my enemy
is my friend.
Absolutely.
Do you think he would cost Christian and Cope the match?
Oh, absolutely. And that could directly lead to him and Luchasaurus getting back together.
Yeah. I think that'd be great. I loved when they were together.
Yep. They had a nice run as tag champs too, early days of AEW. Yeah, they did. Then we have the TNT title match. My favorite, Kyle Fletcher versus Hiromu Takahashi.
Do you think he's going to bring Dwayne?
You mean Daryl? Dwayne's on Mondays.
Who's Dwayne? The Rock Johnson?
Yes.
Yeah, do you think he's going to bring Daryl, the stuffed cat?
I don't think so. Daryl wasn't with him last time. I haven't seen Daryl on any New Japan shows in a while,
Yeah,
but it's possible.
we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way Kyle Fletcher's losing. I could see him holding this title for a long time.
Yeah, I think it would be great.
Then we have the AEW TBS title 4-way match. We now have 9 belts Monet
Jesus.
versus Alex Windsor versus Persephone versus Bozilla. So Bozilla is from Stardom. Persephone is the representative from CMLL. And then we have Mercedes and Alex Windsor from AEW.
So do you think Mercedes is going to have to win this?
Absolutely.
Is there a title on the line?
Yeah, the TBS title.
Okay, so she'd go back to having only 8 belts?
If she lost.
Wow.
Yeah. Bozilla is Stardom's answer to Megan Bayne.
Yeah.
They had a pretty good match at Joey Janela's show over WrestleMania weekend. So it'll be interesting to see. Mercedes and Persephone have been having a long-standing back and forth in CMLL. Definitely see Mercedes picking up the win on that. Then we have the AEW Tag Team Title 3-way match. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Hardwood versus Bandito and Brody King.
I don't know.
My gut says the Hurt Syndicate's going to win. I would like to see FTR win to then set up Cope and Cage and have a nice feud there.
Yeah.
To build that for a couple shows. There's been the rumors going around the internet that the Hurt Syndicate aren't happy with their placement in AEW. MVP specifically thinks Bobby Lashley should be a star, a world champion.
Don't they have championships right now?
They're the tag champions, but the word going around is that the Hurt Syndicate didn't want to lose the jet speed, and they definitely don't want to lose the FTR. So it'll be interesting to see. Is that just, internet writers going crazy, or is there something to it?
I don't know. I don't know who I'd want to win. I guess the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, it should be a good match regardless. Then we have the AEW Unified title, which is the Continental title, the Unified title, and the International title. That's going to be Kazuchika Okada versus Swerve Strickland.
To the night, you think?
Could be. Very well could be. I think Swerve comes out on top here. I think it's time for Okada to drop the title, make Swerve a big-time star. If they give it the time, which AEW normally does, this could be a very good match.
So you think Swerve Strickland's going to make Okada his bitch?
Yep. Absolutely. Like I mentioned, I want to see Don and Prince Nana go at it.
I hope Prince Nana wins. I'm not a Don Callis guy.
Love Don Callis.
I know you do.
So then we have the AEW Women's World Title match. The champion, Toni Storm, versus Athena, who is the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, the longest reigning Women's Champion, currently 58-0 as Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
That's incredible. That's a great record.
I could definitely see Athena picking up the win to solidify her as a big-time star. She needs the win more than Toni Storm. Toni Storm can lose the title, go back for it again.
Yeah.
And still be just fine.
I feel like I can't get to the next level with Athena. I mean, I just can't get Ember Moon out. You know what I mean? Like, it was just such a horrible gimmick, and she was so young. And I know that she's had time under her belt now, and her career's gotten a lot better, but I just don't see the star power in Athena.
Yeah, that's been the question all along. That's specifically why WWE let her go.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But it should be a very good match. When Athena went up against Mercedes Moné in the Owen, that was a fantastic match.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect anything less. It could definitely go either way.
I do think that she's a good wrestler. It's just, I don't know. There's just something about her that it's like questionable for me.
I'd like to see her have a manager.
Like somebody older than 20 years old?
Yeah. Someone other than a teenager. Stokely.
Yeah.
would add something totally different.
Yeah.
You know, it could go a number of different ways. The match I'm most excited for of the night, the IWGP World Heavyweight Title match. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel McGuinness with Daniel Garcia in his corner.
It's going to be a great match.
My only fear is that we get some interference from Daniel Garcia, costing Nigel the match.
Yeah.
That would be my only worry, but you got two London guys going at it in London. The crowd should be absolutely nuts for this match.
Yeah.
I would start the show with this match, because what better way to have your crowd absolutely hot, going batshit for it, than to have two local guys fighting for one of the most prestigious world titles in pro wrestling to start the show.
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely get the crowd going because it's their two hometown guys and they're both incredible wrestlers. So,
what if Tony shelled out a shit ton of money and got one of the Gallaghers to walk Nigel out to the ring as well?
Who's the Gallaghers from Oasis?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
When Nigel came out for his return at Arthur Ashe, he did pay to have the licensing for the Oasis song.
I'm sure he'll pay again. This is a big show and it's in his hometown.
Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking, man, what way to cross over and get that publicity than to have one of the biggest rock groups of all time be there in their hometown while they're doing their reunion tour.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. It'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, huge. Then it could tie in, hey, maybe that opens the door to get the Oasis footage on HBO. So could be a way to get HBO to pony up some of that money as well.
Yeah.
Then we have the AEW World Title match that is now, as we just mentioned, not a cash-in. So we get Adam Page versus MJF for the world title. I would be absolutely shocked if Adam Page lost the title. I think he's going to retain, but could MJF lose and then automatically cash in? Could there be a swerve where the Hurt Syndicate is actually with MJF still and he loses, they jump him, and then MJF cashes in?
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways this could go. I would imagine this is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
I imagine we're going to see some wild spots, possibly the tombstone on a chair that MJF likes to do.
Yeah.
Is Hangman going to bring out tacks, staple gun? Could he light
tubes?
Could he light MJF on fire?
I mean, probably it would be more like he lit something on fire and put MJF through it or hit him with it. But I guess, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. What was the purpose of having MJF with the Hurt Syndicate for 3 seconds? You know what I mean? So, and maybe this is their way of putting over the Hurt Syndicate. You know what I mean? If they do that.
Yep. We'll see. Then we have what I feel is going to be the main event of the evening, the Lights Out Steel Cage match. I have no idea what type of match this is going to be. There's been no information provided other than it's a lights out steel cage match. Yeah. So anything goes. I 1,000,000% believe there's going to be blood, glass, thumbtacks, spikes.
I mean, Mox is in it.
Everything.
There has to be some sort of bloody violence.
So it's Darby Allin, the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Will Ospreay versus the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, the New Japan Strong Champion, Gabe Kidd, and the Young Bucks. So looking at this, Omega coming off of diverticulitis, Kota Ibushi has been out for 2.5 years with injuries. Tanahashi has horrible knees and is retiring in January.
Will Ospreay has a new neck.
Has 2 herniated discs and is having surgery right after this. Gabe Kidd just injured his knee in G1 and could only fight 1 match. So you got a lot of injuries going into this match.
So what you're saying is Darby Allin's probably going to die. He's the only uninjured person besides the Young Bucks.
I don't think Darby Allin will ever die. He climbed Mount Everest.
Let's not jinx it.
When we watched Darby get thrown off a ladder against the Young Bucks in Sting's retirement match through those glass panes, it was unbelievable.
He's like this generation's Mick Foley. He just does the stupid shit and has all his teeth.
Yeah. In this, it could go either way, but I think we're going to get a Darby win. It's Darby's comeback match. He hasn't been in wrestling in a while.
Yeah.
I could see him getting the win, and I still think we're going to get that Darby Mox match. I think we could see another barbed wire exploding death match with Darby and Mox and have them actually go for it this time instead of doing it halfway like they did with Mox and Omega.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting, but I think we're going to have a great show. As it stands, it's going to start the pre-show at 11 a.m. The actual show starts at 3, but with this, in London, they have a cutoff. So it'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the show will not go past that, but I fully expect it to go all the way to 8 p.m.
So 5-hour show?
Absolutely. Not including the pre-show.
Jeez Louise, that's going to be a long day.
Because if you think about it, that cage match, you're going at least 30 to 45 minutes.
Right.
The world title match with Paige and MJF, you're probably going 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Swerve and Okada, you're probably going to do 25 to 30.
Yeah.
Nigel, you'll probably do 15 to 20. I mean, you're pushing it right there.
Not to mention any promos and whatnot in the middle.
Any surprises, debuts, anything like that. All right, so let's go ahead and take our break, and we'll get into our new segment.
Suplex and Sauce. Welcome to a forbidden serving of Suplex and Sauce, where wrestling meets the kitchen and we cook up something as wild as the matches themselves.
And tonight, Forbidden Door kicking wide open, we've whipped up a special dish that's just like the show. Worlds colliding on one plate.
Get ready for a blend of bold flavors, big suplexes, and a recipe that'll hit harder than a clothesline from hell. Let's dig in. Hey guys, welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling. This is our new cooking segment. I know. Wrestling, food, what does it have to do with anything? Well, there's my kid, one of them. And there's my other kid. Oh, go ahead, wave. Hello. So, I used to be on the TV show Hell's Kitchen. I'm a classically trained French chef. I'm a butcher, a wife, a mom, a podcaster. So we're doing a cooking segment because every pay-per-view is kind of like the Super Bowl and we have to do food. So let's get into it. All right, guys. So today we are going to be making monkey bread. I'll have the recipe linked in our show notes and in our YouTube comment section. For this recipe, you'll need 4 cans of just buttermilk biscuits. Any brand will do. I did the Great Value brand. These are the 7.5 ounce biscuits. Honestly, any biscuit will do. If you're gonna go with the bigger cans, I'd probably get 2 instead of 4. This is about 2 cups of chocolate chips. Honestly, we're not gonna use them all, guys. I just poured them all in here. Then we also need brown sugar and cinnamon mixed together because that's what we're gonna roll our little, for lack of a better term, monkey balls. And then for the caramel sauce, it's just a quick sugar caramel. It's gonna go in the microwave. This is 1 cup of brown sugar and half a cup of butter, or 1 whole stick. And then this is 8 ounces of cream cheese cut into pieces. Now I partially froze this because it makes cutting it into pieces easier. And I will show you the next step, what we're gonna do to put this all together. Also, don't forget, you need a bundt pan. You wanna make sure you grease this bad boy because that caramel will stick. All right, here we go. Okay guys, when you go to roll out your biscuits, you are actually gonna get your oven preheating to 350 degrees for this recipe. Now, if you want more little balls, you can always just cut this in half. You can cut them in half so you have more balls. It's totally your call though. You could do bigger ones, smaller ones, whatever works for you. Either way, you're gonna take a piece of cream cheese and put it in the middle. Mine are varying in size. That's totally fine. This doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to last long in your house when you make it. Also, guys, I'm sure you're wondering, Gordon Ramsay, right? What's he like? He's grouchy. What can I say? He is a grumpy guy. And also, it was a really long time ago, and I'm sure that maybe some of the viewers might be appalled that I'm using canned biscuits and didn't make my own. But keep in mind, guys, this is just fun food. It's easy, it's quick, it's not meant to be super time consuming. So you're going to go ahead and roll that into a ball, throw it in your mixture of cinnamon and sugar, and we're going to just make sure that these are fully coated. Also, guys, keep in mind that the bigger they are, the quicker it's going to go. So if you cut all your biscuits in half, you're going to be rolling for a really long time. If you want to make it a little easier on yourself, you can always put your cinnamon and sugar in a Ziploc bag, toss like 5 or 6 of your monkey bread balls in there and mix it around. And we're gonna build this kind of like a lasagna. I'm gonna roll out all of these monkey balls and then I will show you how to build this, okay? Okay, I have a little special helper here on the pod. Her name is Charlotte, as in Flair, because that's how we roll in this family. Big kindergarten girl. There she is. She's gonna help me roll these bad boys out today. All right, I'm gonna pound them down and you can put the cream cheese in the middle. Oh, wash your hands first.
Okay, Mommy.
So the best way to do this would be assembly line style. Like, I make this a family affair because if I didn't, it would take me a while to get these all rolled out. So, ain't no shame in this game, right? So, this is for Forbidden Door tonight, and we're super excited to watch. But what I want to know is, would anyone of our listeners / viewers be interested in doing a live cooking segment where I cook something live and answer your questions? I think it's something I would be interested in doing, but I just want to make sure that there's enough people interested. So give us a like or a comment or a subscribe or a comment down below if you'd like a live cooking segment for our next cooking segment. All right, guys, all of our balls are rolled. Our faux caramel is made. You can see if you microwave it for 1 minute, it'll melt the sugar and the butter completely, and you can just stir it up like this. It does separate over time though if you don't keep using it, like if you don't keep stirring it.
Can I help you, sir?
We're done stirring, baby. All right, so I have my greased bundt pan, my caramel sauce here, nice and runny, the chocolate chips, and the rolled monkey balls. Now what I typically do is I just drizzle some of the caramel into the pan first, just to get a little caramel base going, so that when we flip it, it'll be delish. And then I will just put enough balls in the bottom to kind of get a good start on it. Now it's not going to look very full, but it will expand as you cook it. Now once I do a layer, I will take my chocolate chips and sprinkle some in there because we love chocolate. Now the thing with this is you can modify it however you want to. You can put, I like to do the mini Oreos inside with the cream cheese, and then crushed up Oreo. That's really good. I mean, you could do M&Ms, Reese's peanut butter pieces, Reese's pieces. You really could do just about anything you want to with this. But you just kind of build it lasagna style, layer after layer, and it's delish. And it's honestly, it's pretty quick to make. It's the rolling and filling part that takes the longest, but once you throw all that stuff together, it really is just like super easy. Now I'm putting in the last of my balls. At this point, you could add more chocolate chips. You could top it off with your caramel sauce. I really feel like there's plenty of caramel in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bake this in a 350-degree oven for about 35 minutes. And it's gonna look GBD, golden brown delicious, in the words of the late great Chef Ann Burrell. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the oven and I'll see you in 35 minutes. All right, guys. Our monkey bread out of the oven. Now, you want to let it cool a little bit so you don't burn yourself. You're going to give it a flip, and the hope is that it will melt down and be delish. So some of them stuck, a couple of them stuck. But there you go. That's our monkey bread.